Hey guys, this is a pre-recorded match. I'm playing against Loom Bini on Dry Arabia, and they're playing as Chinese. And yeah, we get a nice spawn off rip. We got a gold right next to it. Ooh, it's fairly close, so it's not too far away. If they do go aggressive on us, it's nice to have this really close, as well as having a forward ooh for timing is pretty nice. We're gonna go for our trade build. I was contemplating doing a Dark Age horse rush, but against China, you kind of with the taxes and stuff, you're never going to really deny that second age, so you're just kind of behind. Even if you could get some villager kills with the taxing, they're always going to be kind of able to get the age 2 no matter what. So not worth it. On our scouting over here, we noticed our opponent here. If we switch to our vision, we dropped this to see what his scout was going to do, and we see that his scout goes north. So we're going to go ahead and come back over here and see what we can pick up. There was a couple of sheep, thankfully, so we're going to be able to get a decent sheep haul this game. It's about split 50-50, the way we run into each other. And yeah, he's just doing kind of a standard build here, I'd say. The village is kind of something that is kind of new. It's not like the original meta, but it's kind of what's been adapted now to drop the village, just to have plenty of pop space and not have to worry about it. And it can be very efficient if it's cost wise. I don't like the placement of it this far from the TC. It's basically a free burn down for me, so that's definitely against Mongols. I would try keeping it inside of your TC range, which actually comes to be pretty important in this match later on. And we're still scouting over here. If you can see our vision, we got this side of the map, and our opponent has this I want to say third of the map scouted. He did drop off a few sheep, so he's getting a pretty good sheep haul. We're both kind of just splitting our sheep at this point. So the big thing is, again, where we're going to meet kind of here in the middle. The spawn on this map is kind of interesting too. These two sacred sites kind of kind of favored on the south side. Relics seem pretty neutral. Maybe you might be able to say that it's favored for him, but I don't know. This relic over here is, I feel like it's kind of a neutral relic. So I've got one for sure, him for him. And this one I want to say is for him. It might be a little bit relic, the relics are favored for him, but not by much. We got a good timing here with our con. We're able to pick up these couple of sheep before he does, which was pretty important. And we decided to go with Silver Tree. So instead of doing my Deerstone build, which is nice for the little bit of movement speed and the little bit of eco boost you get from that, but Silver Tree having cheaper, faster trader production and cheaper traders is just going to be a little bit of a stronger boom in terms of cost. So I decided to go with that instead this time, since we were going against China. I really wanted to make sure that I get plenty of traders out, and I didn't want to cut off on my production because of gold costs, which is kind of where, with the Deerstone build, that it always kind of hits a point where it can get kind of rough. So we decided to go for that. Dropping a Barbican up here on the deer. This is a really good, well, not the best Barbican, but it's pretty good here because you're defending your extra food and stuff, and your two couple of woodlines here. But this gold would be nice to kind of secure, and if you have a Barbican here on these deers and stuff, you could look to drop a TC on this golden wood over here. So that's something just to keep in mind. Is Barbican's a good position, but you got to be careful kind of where you stack or double stack. We do mess up our build a little bit here. We forget to pull our villagers in time to build the stable. So I pull my 3 villagers on wood and have them fast build here. I'm also changed my villagers that were going to go directly on the gold to send them to the stables to help tap this up as fast as we can, just to help with the timing on our Keshik, on our Lancers. If you see our vision, we have seen his village and that it's kind of outside of his TC range, which is kind of a nice note for us. And then we're trying to scout around the side of his base here. We run into his Barbican. We see he's got some villagers here, so we're going to reroute, see if we can't set ourselves up in a better position. And yeah, our builder got a little bit out of off kilter there, but we're doing okay. We've got 10 on food now, and we're going to start rallying villagers on the wood, and we do start getting a wheelbarrow now. So we're basically, this is basically the opening for our trade horse build. So um, we're feeling, a little bit of a bump here, but we're feeling pretty strong with this build right now, and you just got to keep going with it, and then just try to outboom them, make them kind of push us, and our silver tree can start producing traders. So this is kind of one of those points where you have to kind of see that them committing into barracks, and I haven't seen barracks yet, so I'm just gonna keep building Keshik, so not worry about it. I see that he doesn't have anyone in gold, so I know he's relying on taxation. I do see a barracks starting to come up, so I know there's going to be some spearmen coming out here shortly, and I could start looking into building a a range here, which might not have been a bad idea. Instead of dropping traders, so I wasn't entirely sure if this might be a better play. Would have been to just save up that 150 real quick and drop a range. But again, food production wise, I don't have enough villagers to really sustain from 2 buildings at one time, so we're just going to try to commit to Keshiks and try to harass as much as we can. A little bit of a mess up on micro on our part over here. Getting good damage on this village as well. And we're getting pulled into Tisei range here, so a little bit of a mistake on my part not um, having him stand ground outside of range here. And I was bringing my Keshiks over to try to hit that wood line, but he does pull back his villagers, and so we're going to double back and try to keep raiding this village. We try to hit his barbican here with the reinforcements, but we don't get any villagers there. He is actually not on the deer, which is a little bit interesting. Once you drop this barbican here, typically that's what happens. I think it's because he's using his official here on the sheep, so I can see why he's doing that. And now he wants to collect stone as fast as he can for a second TC. Kind of a greedy play. He's pulling 15 villagers to doing this. And you can see in our vision, I've got pretty good vision right now because I've got a bunch of scouts out. I've got 3 scouts technically with my con. So we're getting really good vision, and we can see kind of what our opponent's going to be doing. And we're still rallying more troops. And we are dropping a now, which is good because we're definitely going to need it. And we are pulling villagers off of sheep, even though we still have sheep carcasses. Here we're going to pull 10 villagers on deer because we're going to get a lot more food production out of it. We do try to dive this over here. We lose 2 Keshiks. I think it might have been just a bad play overall trying to do this, but we're just slowing down his TC timing. But I think overall this isn't worth it. Just letting him do it would have been fine. This wolf is really annoying me. I think I'm going to start pulling my. I think I end up pulling my com back to deal with this. And you can see he's still not on that, but he is. He does have enough stone for C, so he's going to rotate all of his villagers on the wood. So he kind of does this big mass migration, and he does kind of a weird move here. He drops the TC onto the deer. We're running around, and we do end up spotting it here. And I didn't think he would drop it here. I honestly thought like he was going to drop it to the north. Because if you already have a barbican here on the deer patch, it's kind of counterproductive to drop a TC here. The barbican's already securing the resource, so I don't know, it just seemed kind of weird. We do decide to commit here. He kind of misclicks his spearman, sends him off somewhere, and we don't end up actually taking out any villagers. It's unfortunate, and we do lose 2 Keshiks out of this. I think we end up losing a third. Yeah, we end up losing 3 Keshiks, so really bad trades for us here early on. And yeah, you can see destroyed by, he's got over 1,000 resources in destroyed by, which is really good. But we know that he's on 2TC, and one thing is we do see that he's on this deer patch, so I know that seems really bad. And I mean, it is bad because he's 2TC, but and we didn't get any damage in terms of punishing him because we didn't get our Mangudai out in time. I think a big issue or something that we could have done better, or like, well, a big issue was they're not getting the archer range up. But I mean, in terms of like that, this isn't the end of the world. Is that if he only has this 1 gold over here and he hasn't secured another gold or another wood line, and this is like double protection on just one place. So I feel like this is an overinvestment on protecting this one area, and that's actually going to come out in our favor because we should be able to harass other areas now, and he's kind of really invested into here. Sure, he's going to secure this, whatever, 2,400, 2,500 food from the deer, but that's pretty much it. Behind this, I wonder what his vision is. So he does have a scout. So he did set up a scout here in this corner looking for the silver tree long trade. Luckily, we are doing short trade. And we're still getting good, decent money out of it. And now we're just kind of harassing here. And we do see him dropping more barracks. And we end up seeing, so we see the double racks and we see triple racks. So he's going to be super invested into infantry units. And it just seemed really, I was worried he's going to drop archers. Going the double racks just seemed like a weird play. And being able to shut down this gold is really nice. I mean, he is China, so he's going to be able to get gold off of taxes, but being able to really control gold is always a nice position. And we've almost housed him because we dropped that one village, and he gets another village up to kind of get himself unhoused. And a little bit of more investment than he probably would have liked to have done. I do mess up not noticing that we have a boar here, so that's a little bit bad on my mistake here. We could have gone for that boar instead of the deer. So we're trying to like get some raids here in and some raids in here, but we can't really commit. We're up to 9 traders, so a little bit behind where I could ideally be in terms of my trade count. And my army, I've got my Mangudai starting to mass up. But we're able to idle a little bit here, but we're not able to really fully commit here. And he is housed a little bit, so that's always nice, especially when he's on 2PC. And we see him tapping up to castle. So we're just going to kind of dive here and get what we can in terms of damage. We pick off his Imperial Official, which is always nice. And we're just going to have to kite out of here. We see him going up for castle. A little bit of a mistake here staying here, but we wanted to kill that villager. And again, this is overstaying. We're taking a lot of damage here. It's definitely not worth it. So, yeah, kind of a big mistake on our part. Now he's up the castle. I didn't see him, well, I guess I did see him going for those villagers on gold. I could have done a better job of just rotating immediately onto gold. But we don't, and we're just kind of massing up again. I definitely should have done that. I was thinking about splitting these guys up to the north. I had my con back here to see if he rotates to the gold over here to the north. That's going to be a pretty big deal. And we're just still, again, on the silver tree, massing a bunch. And we're really close to aging up. So we're like wanting to build more troops here because he's up at the castle now. But we know we have to be really careful about doing this. We are trying to drop towers along the north here just to get more vision. And yeah, we have a little bit of vision here. We drop our scout. That's the one nice thing about having these Mongol scouts. You can have these falcons dropping all over the place. And we run into a spearman. A little bit of bad micro there, losing a Keshik. But you see that he pulls a bunch of villagers. And he does a really big mistake. He pulls all these villagers that have gold. And he's trying to sending them to wood. So he lost, I don't know, he probably lost like 100, 200 gold there. I want to say at least 100 gold. In not dropping off to the mining camp first. So that was a really big mistake. And his his units fall back here. And we're able to really do quite a bit of damage here. With that little bit of a raid and get a lot of idle time. And we do see that he's transitioned a bunch of villagers onto wood. But behind this, we see that he is now starting to kill our trade. We've killed 11 villagers, but he's going to start picking up traders, which is kind of unfortunate. And we are tapping up at the Kurultai now. So we have to bring our army back to deal with this. We're not going to be able to do much without our trade going right now, especially tapping up into castle. And we're going to get our upgrades and kind of start dealing with this. And he pulled villagers up here to the food, and I don't really notice it. But I am going to end up scouting around with my con a little bit. And we're able to get these guys out of here. And we do end up trying to move our silver tree to this corner, but his scout is over here, unbeknownst to us. And he starts pushing forward on the map. He does find an outpost. So we are chasing these last couple of guys, and we decided just to abandon it because he is pushing us in the front here with a sizable force. So we don't really have an army right now to deal with it, and these horsemen are, Keshiks are going to get absolutely shredded. So we really need Mangudai to deal with it. We do see a scout kind of aggro on us, so we decided to drop our silver tree a little bit before that, and our traders are going off now. And his palace guard's over here by the berries, so not a really big issue here. His army does fall back. Behind this, we weren't really sure what to do. we have a pretty strong army, and I really want to be able to deal with the palace guard raids. So what I decide to do is we split our force, we take our Mangudai, they get their upgrades and all the veterans, and we're gonna go raid, try to get some damage in. He does have his +2 angled surfaces. That's good on his part, and we're kind of slacking on our upgrades right now. We're getting our 2x wood chopping. Might be a little bit of overkill here, but we're trying to go for that. Our Khan was running around, and he does end up seeing this. I had him rallied with our Mangudai, and we do end up finding our opponent here. If we look at the entirety of the map, he does have another pocket of villagers on berries. And yes, this is a really big portion of his food eco. This is like half of his food eco right here. And we're able to find him. He does a really good job kind of juking us around this gold. And he does have an army that's fairly nearby. But either way, we could have probably done a little bit better job sticking tight on these villages here. Like right off rip. So kind of unfortunate. But we do get a bunch of villager kills here, which is really a big deal. So from those 13, 14 villagers, he's only got 4. So he loses like 9, 10 villagers there. I think it was 10. So that's a pretty big raid there. And we are producing more Mangudai here, and we are rallying troops forward towards the Kurultai. And we have another raiding force here, which is mostly Keshik, which is going to be really nice to be able to deal with buildings. He does start raiding us over here, and we are dropping off a lot of resources here. And we are dropping towers to defend ourselves, and behind this we're trying to find things to raid. We do run into him making walls, and behind this we're killing a bunch of villagers on his gold. So we get a really good double-pronged attack, which kind of has him looking all directions, and it's really messing with him. His scout is over here harassing. We see his army pushing our trade, and we do notice over here villagers on berries. So we decide to pull our army over here. Our Mangudai to go chase him down since he starts pulling the villagers away. And we're just going to take our Keshik around to the middle, to the front of his base to see if we're going to rotate. You know, he's kind of taking out this position here. The upgrades for the Sprinkle Towers come out a little bit late, so we're not really able to do much damage there. And I do kind of a bad job not pulling these traders out sooner. So a little bit unfortunate that these guys are going to get picked off like they do. A couple of palace guards chasing us, we're able to pick them off. And we have a nice army here in the middle. They're idle right now, so we're gonna group them up, and we're gonna go raid inside of his base since he's kind of shutting down our eco at this point. He's killed a lot of traders, and since we killed a lot of traders, we're gonna rally a villager down here to build a couple of markets and start rallying to his side of the map, since he's kind of been shutting down the other side a lot more. He did pull some villagers up here to a mill to start building, even though he does have a granary over here. So he's trying to like hide his army up a little bit. We're trying to raid over here. We find nobody on deer. Again, kind of weird that he goes for this super aggressive plan to securing deer and then doesn't actually maintain it. And our trader count is at 12 right now. It's kind of suffering. We're going to drop some towers here to defend this because it's going to be kind of our permanent node for trade. And we're running around trying to find some eco to kill here. We don't see anybody on gold, don't see anybody on these berries, so I was a little bit worried about this corner in terms of the stone, but didn't think he was actually going to go kill units to go for a farm there, which he does. And he is pulling palace guards to raid us right now. So we do run into his palace guards. We see his army. His army is running past to go raid us over here, but we're more concerned about the micro over here. And we take out the 2 nest of bees, and we're just going to pull out of this fight. There's just under TC, lots of spearmen, and we're just going to pull out. Our Mangudai are going to run up and around, see what we can see in that top corner. And again, really big mistake not pulling all these traders. It takes us a little bit to react, and we pull these traders over to the other side of the map here. And we're just running around trying to raid. We just barely catch with our Khan this corner of farms, and that's why it's great to always have a scout inside of your army, because you can pick stuff up on the mini map that your normal units wouldn't normally. And we check over here in the food, we see nothing, but we go check out these farms because we saw them. And he's got a pretty big army here. This is 17 spearmen, so a ton of spearmen on his part. And we do only have 1 Mangudai, and it's all Keshiks. And this is not a favorable fight, but it's under Kurultai, and it's they are basically 1-to-1 numbers, so it is in our favor. And he doesn't notice that during these fights we are fighting him up in his food. We're able to take that all out. Our guys are super weak, lots of weak Keshikir, so a perfect place to go raid is his farms, is where we're sending him, and we're going to go start raiding his main base with his Mangudai. So opponent taps out. Did ask us why they're surprised that I was playing with Mangudai and how I don't lose every single game, but yeah, they're really strong in feudal. This point in castle, they're only good for these raids, and if your opponent has little pocket ecos, then you can catch them on those food transition times. It can be a really big swing in terms of momentum and the match. So yeah, if we look at the villager count, you can see that I had a really a kind of a steady climb here on villager counts. I did have a point where I lost some vills and I wasn't like constantly building villagers here, but you can see that he had some more aggressive spikes throughout of villagers lost, which definitely slowed down his growth. And economy wise, you can see that we had traders going, and that really helped us to keep ahead of our opponent. As well as military as well, considering that he's making infantry and we were an all cav force, to have more military numbers as all cav is a really big deal. So yeah, that's kind of the tail of the match. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you. Oh, actually, before I go, today they announced the Byzantines as one of the second DLC Civ for the Sultan's Ascent. So it's been confirmed the Byzantines and the Japanese are coming on the new um, DLC, which is really cool. I think my guess for the third Civ, I think there will be at least a third Civ, if not four, is going to be Ayubid or Mamluks for the Saladin campaign that I'm sure is going to come for the Crusade. So I'm sure we'll be getting more info these weeks about the next Civ. So yeah, just a little bit of info that dropped today. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys, and take it easy. Have a good day.